Okay, I'll tell you, I've had this lifelong dream of what I really wanted to do. What I really wanted to do. I'll tell you what it is. For the United States, of course. I had these really wicked ideas, though. Not wicked bad, but different. I wanted to take all the landfills of the United States and then remove them by acts of Congress, of course, and then take people who have no jobs, have no place to live and whatnot, are elderly, are young, people that just are not doing anything, non-productive members of our society because they are not allowed to be as productive as they could be, and then give them a place to come to. And then what the plan would be is to, instead of wasting trash, to reclaim those dumps, to go into them and remove everything from them through a sifting sorting process where we have mobile labs and corporations that come there, and we take everything back out of the earth and we reprocess it, and then we turn that land back into regular land. It has always been a dream of mine. The average, my last idea of what I figured that it was worth for us to do is about $3 per cubic yard. And as you get deeper into the dump, you're going to find that your metals that are less common are more common. And there's going to be some yards that are going to be worth more. As you get in there, you're going to find things that people have thrown away, like old silver dollars, wedding bands, and even in the bottom, you're going to run into old cars and all that other stuff. It'll pay for itself. Sorting and sifting and removing and cleaning. It can't be any worse than the processes of what goes on in a place where they take animals and make them so that way they can be eaten, where they have to wear masks and bodysuits. It's just a matter of cleanliness. It's a natural resource to me, personally. I think America is sitting on a huge resource, and I know that may not be a resource to everyone. The idea works like this. Okay, you bring in people who are retired that want to still work and want to still make money and are on Social Security and are good people in the area, and you let them live there. You let them bring their campers and everything there, and you provide for them clean water, and they go in and they remove stuff for you, and they take it out, and then you use a sifter system, a very large sifter system, more of a bouncing agitator, so that way you can remove all the chemicals from it and then drop them into a stainless steel basin, and then get somebody strong who's smart out there, like Dow Chemical or 3M, or people that understand chemical compounds, because the basics of chemicals are either alkalinity or acidity. So the neutrality of them and allowing them to simmer between themselves will allow them to become neutral. Neutrality of any one chemical is defined as just being able to be non-toxic. The earth is toxic there. As it wastes, it is more and more toxic. To remove the plastics and take those down and return them to their basis form, through compression heat with lack of oxygen, we can strip them of their polymers by re-adding into it the sugars from the waste products, rotting food and whatnot. We should be able to recombine them and turn them back into a substance not of petroleum but of a base that could be like petroleum, and maybe perhaps that would be better to inject back into the earth instead of this salty wastewater stuff that we're putting in when we do fracking. That way maybe the earth can reprocess that and turn it back into petrol over time. As it sits, we sit on so much plastic in our country, it's unbelievable. It's not a resource at this time, it's just sitting there. And then, of course, when the land's all done, I would love to turn that into what would be called national parkland, not United States parkland, not state parkland, but national parkland, to be recognized for the peoples of the country, of course, that founded the country and dedicated the country. And on those land areas, because they'd be cleaned up and basined out and made sure that there are purity levels to EPA standards, we would be able to have clean area, and then we could solve a huge problem that we have in the world with that land if it was clean and it was able to be used, and that is called the food crisis. Just like we have down south with Disney taking in people and other companies taking in people from other countries because we need them, those other people from other countries also need work and food and shelter and whatnot. And they could come here to these places, and they could grow on that, help us clean it, help it be, and then grow. And we would have a national export leaving here through people from other countries that need the food, growing it here for them on whatever we want to call it, visas or whatnot, limited capabilities within their area. But they would have the land to raise and cultivate and make into corn and wet foods is what I'm thinking. Wet foods. And of course nutrients and supplies like that would be necessary. But it's a big plan. It's huge. It would take a lot of money. And I believe that if our government really was working on the U.S., that would be part of the U.S. that we could work on. I mean, what if we got in there and we found old diamonds and coins and everything, historical memorabilia, stuff that's thrown away, bodies, anything. The waste in the earth is waste. It's the flesh. Imagine that your face has a zit, and you're walking around with a zit right on your nose, right here, all day, and you're like, oh, the zit. Everyone's looking at me. Everyone's looking at me. I have a zit. Well, it hurts more than your face to have a zit. It hurts the inside of you, and it's hurting the earth, because that zit has a core that goes through, and the oils go into the skin, and it's going into the earth, and it's harming the earth. And now, when we think of ourselves as just a people waiting for the end of the earth, we don't think of what will be for tomorrow, for the children. And so, I have to wrap this up because it's very large scale here, and I'll be getting into it more. I will call this number 1, the recycling program. It's all about broken dreams. To me, it's just a sadness that we have a country built on the backs of people where when everyone wanted everything, it was made for them, and they want more, they want more, they want more, but they're not removing. So who is the best person to tackle this? Well, the United States is. All of the United States is. They're producing waste from them, emitting, poisoning the air, all that good stuff. There's no reason why the plastics can't come out of there and we can't make super homes out of them. I'll get into that one. I've got a really cool idea how to make houses out of recycled plastic. So, I really appreciate you listening to me. I know that this is wacky, so thank you.